Welcome to the show. My name is Scott Harrigan. This is RawSportsCast. Today we have Sophia Harrington. Sophia, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Not a problem. Are you nervous?
I'm slightly nervous. It's obviously my first time doing something like a podcast,
Okay,
this kind of thing, so it's
right.
exciting at the same time.
Oh, good for you. Relax, no problem, and we're just going to get into it. So let's start off by how did you get into this? We're talking about dance. Today, it's all about dance. So I want to know what kind of dance. Is it jazz? Is it this? Is it that? Can you kind of just explain all about it?
Absolutely, yeah. It's everything for me. So I started dancing like really young, like 3 years old.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, and basically what happened is that, I did the toddler classes, that kind of thing. And then I kind of switched directions and was actually a competitive gymnast. All the way up till I was about like 9, and then switched back into dance again.
Which is not that hard of a transition, is it really, when you think of it?
It's not. No, it's a really good transition, honestly, because you got that nice crossover with the acrobatics, and you're doing floor routines, which are essentially dance.
Right, yeah,
So
yeah. Did you figure skate by chance? Did you? No? Okay.
Oh, man, I can't ice skate for the life of me.
Are you
I
serious?
love watching it, though.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
But no figure skate.
No,
Okay.
no. I'm like one of those people that you see holding the rail.
Bambi on ice?
Yeah, 100%.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you, did you do both? Were you doing gym and dance simultaneously?
No, so basically what happened with the gymnastics thing is like the injuries were just piling up like crazy. And for someone who was only like 9, 10, it was too much. So I ended up switching fully into dance, total change of focus, and kind of just followed that through to a high level, got competitive with that, all that kind of thing. And started trying, all the different genres, hip hop, jazz, ballet, breakdance, Bollywood, African, like you name it, I've probably tried it.
Freestyle?
Freestyle too, 100%. Like just, I've tried pretty much everything. Tutting, like the hand stuff.
What's that? What's it got? Tutting?
Tutting, yeah, that's another genre as well.
Oh,
It's like a little intricate. It's kind of along the lines more like you could see it mixed with popping and locking and like that kind of stuff. But
Now, what's the ribbon thing you see, the floor?
Oh, that's rhythmic gymnastics. I even tried that at one point.
Yeah. See, I like that. I mean, that's when I've seen it on TV. It's kind of it's definitely, it has to be choreographed, correct?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's fun to watch. Like,
yeah,
I love watching that too. But I wasn't the best at that.
Okay, yeah.
Like you have to literally like bend your back in half, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it wouldn't be for me either. Although I will say this, as a chubby man, I'll tell you right now, I think I can dance.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, have you tried?
Yeah. Oh yeah, like Ain't Lucky, I can dance, no problem at all. So
Nice.
It's like. Chubby guys can cook, we're funny, and we can dance. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
That's it. This is the way it goes. So you started Camosun dance.
Yeah, so at Camosun College, how that started, so I'm kind of entering like my 4th and a half year right now. And basically back in I'd say year 2, my second year in college, I noticed that there was no dance programs of any kind being offered there. And also for the basketball games, because they have the Chargers team and stuff, which is a really good team.
Sure it is. Yeah.
Their games are great. I was watching them and stuff. There wasn't really much like in the way of halftime entertainment and that kind of thing. So I kind of just looked into it and was like, hey, so could I start something? Could I create a dance team? Could I start running some dance classes? And
like at halftime and stuff like that, like when they're doing the halftime show? So
exactly.
Okay, cool.
The halftimes.
Yeah.
I did both, where I started up regular dance classes. So, teaching, jazz, hip hop, that kind of stuff for anyone, general public.
Oh, while you were going to school?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yes,
Okay,
100%.
why not? Yeah.
And at the same time, started up the Camosun dance team, which is exactly as you said. It's for the halftime shows. But we go by the hashtag not cheerleaders.
Explain that. Okay, so what's the difference between a cheerleader and a dancer, or what you're doing?
Yeah, so I mean, we pride ourselves on being a hip hop crew. So we are strictly hip hop, and that's the main difference there. So you don't see us doing the like, let's go. Team
Oh yeah, rah rah
A.
rah.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me a C.
Yes, none of that.
No, but that's nothing wrong with that. For
Nothing
all our
wrong with
cheerleader
that.
listeners.
Yeah, no,
I get it.
not.
Yeah.
I did try cheerleading at one point too,
Okay.
and I have so much respect for how hard
Yeah,
it
no
is.
kidding,
It's
right?
intense.
Yeah.
But yeah, hip hop is it's kind of become my new favorite genre in the past recent years. Like I did really high level, like serious training, very immersive in ballet and contemporary and that kind of stuff. And
So it's a
completely
hybrid
switched
of all
directions.
these. It's a hybrid of all the dance genres that is out there, and you put it into one package, you just mix it up and go with it, or what? How does that work?
Basically, I felt like most of my life, I didn't do a whole lot of hip hop. And hip hop is really, really different from things like ballet and the really, really structured dance styles, because it allows you to kind of use that freedom of expression and like just kind of get gross, get dirty, you know?
Yeah,
like,
cool.
It's very different. So I kind of, when I stopped the ballet side of things and all that, I went full deep dive into hip hop, and it's pretty much like was my focus for a while there.
So do you have to have your own DJ? Is there so you bring your own music to the style of hip hop, or what? Can you just dance to anything?
Well, yeah, you can dance to pretty much anything,
I
for
can.
sure. But I mean, for the dance team at Camosun, I actually make all of the mixes myself. So like, I'll spend hours like mixing a bunch of songs into like one mash and stuff. I have fun with it.
Right on. So in your head, when you hear a hip hop song, you're already thinking of dance moves that's choreographed to teach the rest of the team.
Literally any song, to be honest, because
Okay.
of having all those different genre experiences.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I could hear a slow song and like I cannot anymore. It's a funny thing. I cannot just listen to a song. Like whenever I hear a song, it's instantly in my head. I'm like dancing to it and choreographing to it.
While you're driving?
Oh yeah. On my way here, I was listening to like my hip hop playlist and stuff, and like totally grooving out in my head.
Have you ever got caught singing at a light?
No, I'm not a singer. See,
What?
that's something people always ask me, because they always say, "Oh, dancer, you must sing too," and stuff.
You're not singing while you're like in your head. You're not.
No,
Oh
definitely
boy!
not.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, which I guess is kind of strange. I guess a lot of people do. but
Yeah, I don't know how you wouldn't, to be honest.
I guess I'm too distracted with the choreo.
Okay, I get it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about cheerleading, and we know where that stands. What about mascots? I want to know your thoughts on, because I've seen some crazy mascots and dance moves, and the athleticism, like jumping off a trampoline with a basketball flying like 30 feet in the air or whatever to sink a basket to bucket, right? So is that something you do? Like, do you look at mascots too as a way, as a dance, as a cheer, or?
I admire everything mascots do. Like during my time with like Angels Dance Troupe and ACBC Angels Chopper Bicycle Club.
I want to talk about that too.
Yeah, that was a huge part of my life. But we were super involved with the Royals hockey team and Marty the Marmot, and he is amazing. Marty the Marmot is
So it
like,
is a he. You
can't
gave it
say
away.
I've actually not actually met him out of costume.
I think there's
though.
been a couple of them.
Him or her, you know. Yeah, I haven't actually met them out of their costume. They're really, really good at staying in full character, full costume whenever they're anywhere. So
No, exactly.
yeah, but that, I have a lot of respect for Marty the Marmot, and I think that's one of the most talented mascots we have around for sure.
I think how do you call it? Not an it though. Like, you know what's creepy though? I gotta tell you, people think he's real.
Like a living.
Yeah, like it's he is actually like
The marmot is alive.
it's kind of just. But anyway, I think Marty actually won mascot of the year or something, and beat out like a ton of mascots or something all over North America.
I remember hearing that too.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, to be honest.
No.
They're really good at what they do. Like really good at getting the crowds going, and
Right.
and the energy, as you mentioned, like it's crazy.
Do you think that when you're doing, have you had any feedback from the teams and crowds that, You really helped us get through that. We were kind of losing in the second quarter and the half. I mean, in the third quarter, you guys, have you ever had any feedbacks?
Yeah, so at the Chargers games, like, we didn't actually, so we're still a fairly new dance team, to be honest. We started the same year COVID hit. So we did probably, let's see, several months of performing for them, and then COVID hit and everything shut right down. And now this is our first time getting back and running as of our audition date, which will be October 9th. So
you're having auditions for new members?
Yeah. So we recruit at the start of every single school term. So yeah, October 9th from 12 to 2, Camosun College Lansdowne campus. That's where we're going to be having our upcoming auditions.
Okay, perfect.
There are registration only, so you have to like pre-register just so we know the numbers we're gonna have and stuff.
Is that online?
It is. So you can find it on the Camosun Dance Team Instagram, which is just called Camosun Dance Team, all one word.
Okay.
And then also just by phone as well. But if you just go to there, you can see all the other information as well, and that's great.
Okay, and these are auditions, so you can gauge
the level and stuff.
Okay.
We're very much an advanced hip hop crew, so
you got to bring your game.
You're able to pick up on choreo, take corrections really quickly, because like we only practice once a week. We practice once a week, Saturdays, 12 to 2.
Okay.
And that's it. Which, if you're a dancer, you know that's not very much practice time to prep for a show.
Seems like a ton to me.
Yeah, but if you want to be really clean, really tight, that's nothing at all.
Okay.
So we have to really know that everyone on the team is going to be really quick with things and getting clean and tight.
What's the age group? What are we looking at for? What is there a limit or a bar? You have to be 16, 15,
17 is what
we say. 17
so
to
like
whatever?
If you grad high school, it's kind of for like you're starting college, you're in college, you're an adult, like that kind of age group.
Do you have to be going to the Camosun?
You don't have to be a student. That's a really good point. You definitely don't need to be a student. You just need to make sure that, you're an adult. You're not a kid. You're not in high school still.
Okay. Good stuff. And it's inclusion. It could be a guy, it could be whoever, whatever. It's diversity. Yeah.
Yes.
Is that something that you would love to see more men?
I would really like to see some more guys on the team, 100%. Like, it just brings a different kind of energy as well when you have that mixed dynamic.
Yeah.
We're lucky. We had a few b-boys, which are break dancers. That's what b-boy means.
Okay, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, so I guess that's a dancer term, but they're break dancers. So there's a few break dancers that we were able to, or I kind of befriended, who were using the same studio space, and we were able to collab with them for one of our basketball halftime shows.
Yeah.
And it changes the energy so much having just guys in the crew. So
I'd
love to have more of that.
Okay,
for sure.
Cool. Is there a charge or a cost? Like, is there a fee, or is this all volunteer? How's this working?
Yeah, so it used to be, but as of this term, I'm actually making it a nonprofit because I want to do some more fundraising initiatives and things like that, and just focus more on the dance and the passion itself rather than, this is a professional business, trying to make money.
Yeah.
But there is just a uniform rental fee, is what I'm
Right.
calling it. It's just $50 and you have your uniform
Right.
rented out.
Okay.
But that's it. The rest, it's nonprofit. It's really just a matter of getting together, performing, having a good time.
Strictly Camosun, or do you go out in the community? Or are you like, can you go to a PFC game or what?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can
I
travel up island, stuff like that?
100%. I'm actually really looking right now to try to expand and do more things outside of the college. Whether that's, like other sporting events, like rugby events or hockey games or whatever it be, right?
Well, I actually, we're just partnering up with Red Arrow Brewing up island, and we're going to start doing events, and they have a great facility out there, and we're going to maybe, we can get your team out there and have a look, and do some stuff with them and go from there.
Cool.
But it's all about getting the word out, right? So
100%.
What benefits do you get from dancing? Like, obviously, where I'm going with this is that when dance like nobody's watching, it's hard to be sad or depressed or have anxiety when you're dancing. So with mental health being at the forefront today, is it something that you can explore to, say, people with disabilities or, Down syndrome? I don't know. Like all of that stuff. Is that something that you could do?
Absolutely, and I actually have. So
Oh, okay. Can you talk about that?
yeah, I'd love to. It's a huge thing today with mental health and all of that. And to be honest, even for myself, dance has like helped me through any hard time I've experienced in my life.
Right.
It's such an amazing thing because like you say, it's releasing that dopamine. Sorry to get sciencey, but all those like happy hormones in the brain that just it gives you that energy and like similar to like a runner's high, if you've heard of that.
Yeah.
It's that
No, I personally haven't,
when
but
you're in a group, especially, right?
I don't run.
We're not gonna go there.
I get it.
I
just no.
But when you're in a group, especially, and you're all kind of vibing off of each other's energies, and you're having a good time, it's amazing. But
right. So it's like dance like nobody's watching. Like just exactly who cares? Like, is there a bad dancer?
I mean, I would say a bad dancer is someone who's just really overthinking it and just not dancing like no one's watching, like someone who's just really in their head and they're really focused on the wrong things and just overthinking it.
Right.
Because if you just let go and have a good time, like if the passion is there and the intent is there, you're not going to be a bad dancer. Like,
I don't think there is. I just like, I've gone to enough weddings in my life where there's just crazy as freaky as people that are dancing. They're having the most fun. It's like, they're just, they don't care.
Absolutely.
And you're attracted to that because you want to dance with them.
It's contagious energy, 100%.
Oh, okay, good term, yeah.
And in Angel's Dance Troupe, which is the dance troupe I led in connection with the Angels Chopper Bicycle Club.
That's your dad, Mike?
That is my dad, Mike, and my mom, Annabelle.
Okay. What a great name, Annabelle, isn't it?
Annabelle, I know.
Isn't that such a great name?
I love her. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, my dad, too. I love my whole family.
Yeah,
but,
why not?
With that dance team, I actually had a boy who had Down syndrome, and I incorporated him right into it, gave him a solo, and we had
wicked.
Higher level choreography all around him as he was just in the center, giving it, and like you said, dancing like no one's watching.
Yeah.
And that kind of energy really, it got people going, and people loved it so much. Like, he was the star of the show.
That's awesome.
Every time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you, when you would maybe, I mean, everybody's got struggles in life and stuff like that, and it's, if you are battling with something, dancing you would think would be the last thing you want to do, right? But if you see that things are just going, do you just, okay, I'm going to train, or I'm going to hold a practice, or stuff like that? That's out.
Yeah. Like during COVID, especially, like COVID was hard for a lot of people.
Yeah,
I think,
and still is.
It still is, exactly. You're stuck at home half the time.
Yeah.
And like when we were in quarantine, you really were stuck at home.
Right.
Like there were no studios open hardly, and even if there was, you couldn't do group practices or anything. And renting a studio space just for yourself can be kind of expensive. So.
Of course.
With the help of my family, converted my basement into a dance studio and made it work because I needed something, right?
An out. You needed an out.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
It's just important, and that's exactly what it is. And everyone has their own thing, their own little out, their own form of expression.
That's right.
I think dance is great because it has both the physical and mental.
Right, okay. So what is you saying hip hop is your favorite? What would be like an entry level dance? Like what kind of genre would that be?
Actually, hip hop, I would say. I'd say hip hop is a really good way to get introduced to dance, just because not only are you using, really relevant music that you'd hear, on the radio or whatever it is. It's also less, I don't want to say less technical. That's not the right word. It is very technical at times, but
seems it's all technical. Like
it's different. Yeah, it's just different kind of technique than something like ballet, for example, where you really need to be training for like years and years on end, very intensely to kind of get even to a advanced level. With hip hop, I think if you have enough passion and energy and intent behind your movement, you could progress to a higher level a lot faster.
It seems to me like, for me personally, if I'm down or this or things just aren't going right, and one day leads to two, and two before you know it, music. I can easily sit in the car, go for a drive, turn on the tunes. So it just seems to me that the combination of the dance and the music, it's a win-win. That's a left-right. That's perfect. So when you're feeling the music, and you just have you ever heard of Mushin? Mushin, yeah.
No,
I was a goalie, and Mushin is of no mind. So it's like, have you ever heard the term being in the zone?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
well, that is motion to another level.
Okay.
Right? So it's just, you're of no mind, and you let the music go and stuff like that. That like if you're just a beginner dancer but love music, because I don't know anybody that doesn't love music.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
It'd be crazy.
Is that something that you can teach? Like, I don't. Is there anybody that's unteachable in dance? No.
I don't think so. Well, it depends on your mindset. And that's like kind of what I said before, where like if you just have someone with a really closed off mindset who's just really in their head, really worried what everyone else is thinking of them, then yeah, that's a little harder to teach sometimes, for sure.
Right.
Because they're just so in there.
But wouldn't the music drag that along? Like, just go, whoa, here we go.
You'd think so, but I have come across a few people who are just, they're looking in the mirror the whole time. They're fixing their hair. They're just kind of in their own world.
Fair enough, yeah.
You come across it sometimes. For
Selfie.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Oh,
Does that happen?
Oh, yeah.
What do you do with that? What is the etiquette of dancing? Don't take selfies in them.
No, don't take selfies unless it's like a big group selfie at the end of class, Like, but basically I would say the etiquette is just be there, be present, and focus on what's going on, and don't worry about everyone else. And, but like have a good time, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a social thing too sometimes.
Awesome,
sure.
Good stuff. Yeah. So do you, like, getting back to encouraging the crowd and that whole, I always, when I go to an event or a game, if they don't have music or they're not having some sort of interaction, it really takes away from the event, right?
I agree.
Like the Super Bowl for me, I love this. I love football. I love the Super Bowl, but those halftime shows drive me nuts. They don't. I don't know. You're not going to agree with me.
You don't like the halftime shows at Super Bowl?
No. I don't.
Oh my God.
I know, right? I don't know.
That's why I watch Super Bowl ever.
I get it. I know. It's just been a couple of ones that I'm just like, oh boy. But I'll just go get another beer and chicken wings.
Okay, but J-Lo's though? Come on.
Yeah.
Choreo for that.
Yeah.
The dancing, the
get
energy.
It. Yeah. I like J-Lo for other reasons, and it's not for that's just the way it is.
Oh man.
No, I can't remember who that one person was, but I could not do it. But anyway, so we'll. But do you find locally that there is a need for more enthusiasm and stuff like that? Do you find that?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like that's part of why I wanted to start the Camosun dance team for the Chargers, because they're such a great team. They're already amazing to watch, and it's like, okay, well, let's add another layer to that. Let's hype it up even more. And especially like if they were ever having a bad game, which is not very often.
No,
but if they were
true.
ever having
that's
a bad
true.
game, it also just ups the whole energy of the audience as well, and kind of makes everybody a little bit happier.
Yeah,
It just refreshes everything before the next period.
That's a good term, actually, refreshes. It's like setting it back to, and if they're losing or they're down or whatever, if they're winning, you got to keep that going, that vibe.
Audience members come up to me like after our halftime shows and be like, wow, like you just totally changed the game. Like that was amazing.
See that.
That was so exciting, and your energy was amazing.
Absolutely.
I loved it,
So do you do the volleyball? Do you do their other sports that they have there at Pisces?
Not at the moment, just because they don't have the space for it. Because when they do volleyball, they have like all the sand set up and stuff, which is not really, you can't really dance
Sand
on
in the gym?
Yeah, so they do the whole court thing and stuff, right? So I've asked about it a few times, but currently it's still a no for those, just because of space and time and the way that they are structured. But I'm really, really wanting to look at other teams as well, like around the city, like I said before, like hockey and things like that as well, that have kind of the flexibility to have entertainment.
That'd be tricky on the ice, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but even just in a lobby somewhere, or, it doesn't have to be necessarily where everything's happening. It could be like outside or just anywhere around the venue, right?
Well, that's a good point, because I know the Shamrocks have an outdoor barbecue, whatever, stuff like that. I mean, shout out to the Shamrocks there to get the dance team going.
Oh, yeah, please.
So is this something that you envision that you're going to start this within the other schools, like VIU, and maybe would you like, or no, this is your idea, you want this, or What?
Oh man, like yeah, absolutely. Like I started the Camosun dance team, but like we're called Camosun dance team, but we're not called Camosun college dance team. Like we're flexible to go elsewhere. We're not necessarily tied to Camosun college. So I am super eager to be performing outside of the college as well.
Right. You know what I'd love to see is I'd love to see other schools doing what you're doing and then have like a championship.
Yeah, that'd be sweet
Like,
too.
you know what I mean?
Oh
Where
my
you're
gosh,
just
yeah.
being judged and, but, you know, rating or rankings or stuff like that. And that would be great to compete your dance against another school's dance team.
Well, I know they have like cheerleading comps and things like that, but like having a dance team comp thing.
I
would
think
be
that,
sweet.
yeah,
that'd
Bastion
be so
Square,
fun.
something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That'd be amazing.
That would be cool,
That'd
right?
be a blast. I miss competing too. I miss that part of my past. So
Right.
sweet. I'm down.
Not kidding, eh?
Yeah.
And it is competitive.
It is, yeah, it could be, right?
Right.
Like, it's not right now necessarily.
No, not
because
for-
we're the only
right.
team doing it, really, as far as I know.
So, do you find if you're doing an audition and a lady walks in and she's like really good, does that pick up your game?
Oh,
Is there competitive where it's just like, whoa, she's good or he's good? Uh-oh.
I think at this point, especially as the director, I have a certain level of modesty where it's like I'm completely comfortable accepting if anyone's better than me, and I'll cherish that, and I'll be like, please, like, come, show me what you can do, like, let me grow with you.
Has that happened?
Vibe off of you. Yeah, I've had people in the team who I would judge as better than me for sure.
Yeah.
And I love that.
But
because it does, like you say, that slight competitiveness, even if it's only in the subconscious of the other dancers.
We're human.
It ups everybody's game.
It does, right?
It does.
It's like,
It does.
so that's kind of cool because if you're doing anything in sports or sports related and you don't have a competitive edge,
Yeah.
well, what's going to happen, right? So
Yeah. And it's like friendly competition. That's totally what it is.
100%.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Let's switch gears a little bit here. I want to hear about your dad. I want to hear about your dad, Mike, and the work he does within the community and stuff like that. And the is it Angel Choppers?
Yeah, so we don't actually run Angel's Chopper Bicycle Club anymore.
Oh, what happened?
It just kind of came to its natural
Okay.
end. We passed it on to other people to run it, and I think it's still going, but just in a lot smaller scale.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it was huge for a little
Massive.
while there. It was.
I think that's how I met
deal.
him or whatever years ago, I think.
Yeah, so it was him and my mom. They ran it side by side, and my brother and I. So my brother is Tony.
Yeah.
We all kind of founded it as a family, and it's a funny story how we got our name, actually.
Okay, I'd love to hear. Can you tell us?
Well, actually, the history of the clubs, like how we started is it was just a family thing with like our neighbors and our friends and our bikes. So my dad would find these old, classic banana seat cruisers and that kind of thing. And we'd have so much fun just tricking them out, making them look cool, and then riding around town with our leather jackets and just feeling badass. And we started getting called Hell's Angels as a joke.
Oh, okay.
People would be like, oh, look, it's the little Hell's Angels. And I started really getting sick of that. I was like, no, we're not.
Yeah.
Little young Sophia, I was like, no, we're God's angels.
Okay, yeah.
And then it kind of evolved from there. So when we became more official, we were like, okay, let's make it not sound like
Hell's
that.
Angel-y?
Let's just totally change it, and now we'll just be Angels. So that's kind of how that evolved into Angels Chopper Bicycle Club. And we liked it because the acronym ACBC, it was like ACDC, and so we made our logo match and everything.
Look at you
Kind of made
go.
it all fun and snazzy.
Yeah? Are you a big AC/DC fan?
Oh, I'm huge into rock music and
Oh, yeah?
all that stuff. I like all music, to be honest. I have my playlist is everything.
Right. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Country?
Everything but country. Everything
So
but that.
every time I hear somebody say, I love all kinds of music,
And then you ask that question.
I have to. And it's not even 50-50. It's more like 80-20.
Yeah.
Nah. So
It's a niche. I respect it.
I actually have found myself being gravitated towards this new country. Like I still get nostalgic and listen to Willie Nelson and all those guys and Perkins and those kind of things, right? But it's usually a few Luckies deep and whatever, and that's the thing. But some of the new country, I really don't mind, right? So, good on your country. You're coming back. So the Angel Choppers was just a way to. Weren't you donating bikes and fixing bikes and for the community?
There was a lot of that. So it evolved over time and grew and became like a mentoring thing where we were trying to teach youth new valuable skills that they could use in their daily life and going forward if they wanted, careers and things like, like mechanics, bike work, things like that. Where they're learning all of these hands-on skills, even artwork. We did like an airbrushing workshop.
I remember that,
all that kind of stuff. So like I got to learn how to airbrush, which was super cool, along with a bunch of other kids. And
now, didn't you go into schools like that's the whole like in the mechanic shops and
yes, absolutely.
Didn't your dad?
Yeah. So we were doing everything with Harleys and trying to make bicycles look like Harleys with the full gas tanks and everything and. It really, you could see the evolution of the bikes and the caliber of the bikes from day one to when it stopped. But we did like a Royals bike, for example.
I remember that. Yeah.
So we got, like the hockey stick sissy bar up the back and like this custom embroidered seat.
Yeah.
And that thing looked like a Harley.
That was wild.
So it was really good. And it kind of was about getting families together and then as a family learning those skills and bonding and that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember. Yes. And you'd fix other people's bikes or stuff. I remember there was.
Yeah, we do a bunch of workshops. Like every weekend we would have a workshop where we're teaching a different skill or we're doing a different activity. We would do kind of like field trip type things too, where
for parts to try to find parts or donating parts.
Like we had a lot of sponsorship and stuff as well. But like we would do things like going to a powder coating shop all together and looking at how that's done and learning new things like that.
Did you video that? Like that would have been a tutorial on YouTube. What if you had a thought of that back in the time, or that would have been really cool. That would have been a great channel.
We did. I can't honestly remember now, but I miss those days. We did. The really cool thing about the bike club that I really loved and that really made it exciting was when I actually started this when I was about 10, I want to say, maybe 11, was the Rockstar bikes. And so that was a whole nother branch of the club. And one of our little niche things that we kind of became known for is we would do custom chopper style bicycles for different celebrities as they came to town on tour.
Who was it? That painter too, Paul Archer. Is he still in town?
He is, I believe. Yes.
Yeah. Well, but wouldn't he kind of do the same mural things? And
exactly.
Did you work with him at all?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
He's a great guy. Yeah. He collabed with the Chopper Club a few times on things and.
Sure. I think I remember seeing once that you did one for a wrestler that at Save On, or was it a wrestler?
There was a bunch of stuff.
Bret Hart?
We've done a lot. I can't remember a wrestler in particular. Like we did actually meet Bret Hart. Yes, that was one of the ones.
I think it was. I remember that. Yeah, I remember.
I don't think we made him a bike.
Oh, okay.
But we did as a group get to go and meet him and spend time with him. And
great guy.
He's an amazing guy.
I met him a couple times. Great guy.
Absolutely, yeah. But we built bikes, custom bikes for Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, Selena Gomez, Avril Lavigne, Ozzy Osbourne, Elton John.
What? And gave it to him?
11. I could go on and on and on.
But actually, you have pictures with them?
We have pictures of them. They would sign them. They would, Gene Simmons, for example, when he was at the Royal Casino or whatever, just down the road.
With his wife,
Yeah, for Family Jewels. So we built a whole Family Jewels chopper bike and went right up on stage in front of a sea of thousands of people. I was the chosen spokesperson.
Yeah.
Just got voted in.
Nice.
I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing this then. So they handed me the mic. Gene Simmons did himself.
Wow.
He was like, here you go.
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
hi,
doing
Gene.
this now. And I gave the whole speech about the bike and the club and what we do and all of the details as to the design and things like that.
Okay.
We were going to give it to him. That was the plan for the show.
Yeah.
And they ended up all signing it. His whole family signed it. And they took pictures and they said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to sign this thing. Instead of taking it, we want you guys to auction it off or do whatever it is you need to help go towards funding your club and bringing about more awareness, which was amazing.
So is that what you did?
That is what we're trying to do. We're still, I think, trying to think about doing something with the Kiss Army or something along those lines. But we've tried a few times, and we've basically kind of switched direction, and we went on a tour with it almost around town. So different stores and places kind of wanted it as a display. So we were almost doing like little okay, you get to have it for a while, and now you
like
get
the
to
moose
have it.
around town, all the
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was kind of stuff
How
like
come
that.
you just don't sell it? You just
So,
not getting enough money? You don't think?
That's a good question. I can't give a very good answer to that right now, to be honest.
Yeah,
so
fair
much
enough.
time has gone by, but
Yeah.
that's kind of what we did with a lot of the bikes was we did, I think, sell a couple of them.
Okay.
But most of them were signed and then used towards, fundraising and more awareness and that kind of thing.
But wasn't it your hope that they took them?
Yes, and some did. So one of the ones who took them was Ringo Starr.
What?
And there's a photo of him at his house on the bike, giving the big peace sign.
Oh, I think was
It's a
that on
yellow
Facebook?
bike.
Yeah, like a yellow submarine.
It's a yellow submarine style bike.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's one of the ones who actually took it home, and he's talked about it since. And one of the other ones that's really amazing who took the bike was Chris Cornell. And he used it in his concerts in Madison Square Garden. He rolled on stage on the bike my little brother made, and gave a big shout out and everything.
To you guys on stage?
Yes, he brought my little brother on stage at his concert and introduced him to the whole world, essentially. And it was pretty amazing.
That's so cool.
He was one of the most generous and really just genuine, amazing people that we met out of all the celebrities we've come across.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Chris Cornell was amazing.
How did you hook up with them? Who did you have a PR person, or you just waited outside, or who facilitated that?
A bit of a mix. It kind of depended on each one, but a lot of it was just patience, waiting outside, having the bike right there. Others were aware of who we were and what we were doing.
Oh, okay.
And so then would get word and be like, oh, they're here and they have the bike. Oh, I want to go see it. Let's check it out, or let's bring them backstage. So with Snoop Dogg, for example, we didn't go with a bike. We just showed up let's see if we can just meet him and talk to him and see what happens. He brought us right backstage into his dressing room.
Really?
Took pictures and the whole thing. And we had brought a different bike. We brought the Ice Cube bike, just because.
Yeah.
And he loved it. He was like, "Wow, this is sick! I would love to have one of my own." And he basically gave us a whole grocery list of all the different specs he wanted this bike to have, all the specific things.
And a check?
A chinchilla first seat, all these different things.
Of course,
the multi-spoke rims, the huge 8-hanger handlebars, and we made it happen.
Did he give you a check? Did he give you money for it too?
No. No, and he still hasn't picked up his bike.
Yeah.
He forgot or something. I don't know.
Well, he's probably high.
Well, yeah.
Clearly. What was that dressing room like? What did that smell like?
It was a lot of snacks all around.
A lot of snacks?
Lots of open Cheeto bags.
Of
things.
course, the Cheeto bag. That's awesome.
But super nice guy. Super friendly. Super cool.
That's funny. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So, do you think? That's some good stories. Let's transition back to. You're obviously a very passionate young woman, and do you think that from your mom and dad, this is where you get your community, that all of what Angel Chopper is and all that because he basically grew into that.
Oh yeah.
Right. So is that where your love for the community, love for the island, love for creating stuff and all that transfer, and then meeting rock stars and stuff? Is that how we got to this point?
I would say, yeah, it was a very big part of who I am and growing up, and it really did instill a lot of those values of being selfless and helping others in the community and helping those in need and doing volunteering and all of that stuff. I did years of volunteering before I even started high school.
That's just parenting done right.
It is.
You know what I mean?
I'm really
big
grateful,
shout out to both your mom and dad. That encouragement, that involvement, that hands-on stuff.
Yeah.
It really does help moving forward, right? And now clearly you're giving back.
Trying to.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely,
right.
Yeah.
But
that's the goal.
so what's the next what do we got going on that's coming up that we have to give shout outs for the dance? We talked about the auditions and stuff like that. But where do you want to grow this thing? Is this something that you're going to take on full time? Is this something that you're going to I can't see you just doing anything half-assed, but
No.
what is this something that you're just going to get right into?
I would like to really grow it. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Right now I'm still in school as well.
Yeah.
I'm working and I'm doing school and I'm trying to start up the team again. So it's a lot, but I'm still trying to really I've switched the focus of the dance team into expansion and really trying to just focus on that.
Right.
So again, those auditions, October 9th, 12 to 2, and Instagram, Camosun Dance Team, they are huge for me because I'm really, really trying to increase those numbers and the awareness. And like we talked about earlier, just getting out in the community and getting around more and becoming more recognized and more known.
Right. Okay.
That's a huge thing. So once I graduate too from the program I'm in, I would love to potentially dedicate a little more time to it as well.
Right.
To continue that, but
are you partnering with somebody right now? Is that somebody we should give a shout out to? Some volunteers and give them some accolades.
I don't have any official partners, but Camosun College is obviously a huge supporter, and the Chargers and stuff. And it wouldn't really be happening without that and the Chargers and those events for sure.
Right. So you're single-handedly running this whole all the social media and the marketing and this and the.
So that's a good point. I just welcomed a new member to the team for promotions, and her name is Kat. She actually
shout out Kat.
Yeah, shout out to Kat. She's doing a great job with promoting. So she's actually partially running the whole social media and all that stuff as well. So if you're mentioning us on social media and things, it could be me answering, it could be her.
Yeah, fair dues.
She's helping take on that load. And
do you have a logo or a banner or something that you can send ISN and Raw, and then we can help facilitate get some exposure?
We have our logo on our jerseys, but I don't have a logo per se, as a graphic that I can use that for yet. Okay. But I will work on that for sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, Sophia, listen, we're going to wrap this up. It was an absolute pleasure to have you on at Raw. Thanks for doing our little show here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and we'll add some links and to the YouTube channel. So it's Camosun Dance Team. Auditions are October 9th.
From 12 to 2.
12 to 2 at Camosun?
Camosun College, Lansdowne campus.
Lansdowne campus, okay.
Young Building Movement Studio. So that's the building where the gym is at and all that.
Awesome. And they can get a hold of you on Instagram or send you a DM or an email? Do you have...
Yes. So I'm using, I have a phone number that I use for the dance team. That's 250-661-2621 if you want to register for the auditions. Awesome. And then the Instagram is the other main one right now. We're working on starting a Facebook page up as well.
Yes, that's key too, right?
And the Instagram is just Camosun, CAMOSUN dance team, all one word.
Awesome. Well, listen, I can't thank you enough. It's been a pleasure having you on. We'll have to have you back when we get things going, and maybe we can chat after the auditions and see where you're going, and if you have any video and stuff like that. So if there's any young ladies, young men who would like to get into this dance and perform and do some community work, that would just be awesome. So get a hold of Sophia. She's a great young lady, and I look forward to chatting. Well, that's it for another edition of Raw Sportscast. My name is Scott Harrigan. I thank my guest, Sophia Harrington, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.